Hi everyone, it's Heather. In my last video I tore up a load of scraps from my scrap bin, inked them up and added stamped images to them, ready for layering up into cluster embellishments. I'm going to add them to envelopes now. Hello, I'm back again. Right then, so I inked up all of the edges of the scrap torn paper that we stamped on. So that's all neatly piled there with ink on it, ready to go. And I have to say I'm actually loving the look. The colours, although initially I picked out stuff that really did not go together at all, I can see actually that I've been using similar colours in projects, so they're not too bad. There's a little bit of coordination there. So I did pull out my scrap ribbon box of the sort of turquoise blue shades with some grey in there as well, and I was rather pleased to see I'd got these scraps of fabric that I backed onto an interfacing, and I vaguely remember using these a few years ago, and these must have been the scraps left over, and I'd obviously had the foresight to pink some little squares out of them, so that's brilliant because that was a bit of a find. So I've got that, and then some lovely ribbons that I think are lace that will go nicely with the colours that I've got there. I also got those scraps of music sheet, and I used the barber scissors to cut around them, and I've inked around those as well. But I was thinking, just before I came and sat down, I grabbed some of my small envelopes. I did emboss a couple, and I'm not entirely sure I like that, but I have done it anyway. I don't know whether you can see that. That's a floral type embossing, and that's a polka dot. I absolutely love the polka dot, but because you put it in as a whole envelope, it embosses the back as well, and I'm not entirely sure I like that, but I've done it anyway. And I've got some plain envelopes there. I've also got some seed packet envelopes, which I think will be handy when I do that garden journal, but I might use them in this as well. So what we're going to do now is, as I have done here, we're going to layer up some of these bits that we've made just using scraps, and then possibly pop them onto envelopes to decorate the envelopes. And you can see I've made a bit of a start here. So I've also got my cup of coffee, so I'm going to have a nice drink of coffee now as well. It's Friday morning, still morning, and I've been for a massage this morning, so I'm feeling really chilled. I think my videos these days are basically over several days of off doing other things. I never seem to be able to finish a video in one go, so you'll have to bear with me. I know it might be disjointed, but that's just the way I roll at the moment. And today I just feel so chilled because I've just come back from a wonderful massage. She's used some lovely relaxing oils, so I'm very, very chilled. So now I'm just adding a little bit of caffeine to my body. I'll be a bit hyper now as well. Right, so I've layered this one up. Glue wise, let's think. I was thinking maybe using hot glue, but I haven't put it on, so that's not going to be very useful because it's in stick form. So let's have a look. We've got our trusty 3-in-1, so I think I might use that for this because we've got some ribbon. So all I've done is just taken, what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of ribbon or lace, or first of all a base. So I'm going to use the music sheet as a base, and I'm going to layer it up with a little bit of ribbon, this gorgeous fabric, a bit of the scrap stamped paper, and then one of the brown elements. So let's just layer that up now, and we'll use the 3-in-1 craft glue. The problem is doing these videos over more than one day. I am at risk of repeating myself because I've absolutely no idea what I've said in previous clips that I've done. So please do bear in mind I could repeat things, and forgive me for that. My husband's downstairs working in the office at the moment. One of my children will be home shortly, I think, because she finishes a bit earlier on a Friday. I put that a little bit too close to the edge, haven't I? But we're going to run with it. So I might have to stop the video again anyway, shortly. But I thought just while I'm chilling with a coffee, I'll come back and do a little bit more. Now I know we've made clusters before together, but I just find them so versatile. And it's always worth having a few in. And it's going to be good because I've used up just a little handful of scraps. I was so pleased to find that fabric. I can't even remember what it was from. I think maybe it was, well, I know it would have probably been Fat Quarters, I would think, because it's a coordinated set by the look of it, although there is a little bit of tea-dyed fabric, and I do recognise that from being, I think it was a dress of my daughter's. But the Fat Quarters, I can't think what I've actually used them on. To have actually backed them in something. I vaguely remember doing some lettering with them, so oh, but I don't think that was the initial thing that I had them for, so I don't know. Right, so now that's a little bit too far that way, but so it's a little bit off centre, but I'm going to keep it like that because I might add something down the side. So I like that, that's cute, and that would fit on, let's have a look, that would obviously fit on that envelope, but I quite like the idea of it being on a side opening envelope. I quite like that. So that's nice, isn't it? This is made out of card, so that's really stiff. I like that actually. I'm going to put it on there, but I think I'll just add a little bit of the usual ink around the edges. I do love envelopes in journals. It's something that I use a lot because they're so versatile. Because although I love junk journals, I love the pages, the having so many different types of paper, that really appeals to me. I love that, the texture and all the different colours, and you know, having no rules basically with junk journals. But the envelopes are particularly useful because I struggle personally to write on pages in journals. I always feel like I'm going to ruin them, because my writing's appalling. And even with artwork and things like that. I'm fine with sketchbooks for some reason, that's absolutely fine. I can use a sketchbook, I use an art book, and I can fill that up, that's not an issue. I'm slightly more confident in my creativity than I am in my writing skills. Even though obviously I can write, I'm not illiterate, I just don't feel confident, and I almost feel like, I don't know whether you're like this, but I feel like if I'm writing it down on a good piece of paper in a journal, then I'm really committed to it, and I have commitment issues, so it bothers me sometimes to write. I feel like I'm ruining the page because I want to change it, because my brain I feel like I'm so fluid, I have to change things all the time. I'm always getting new ideas, I want to do new things and different things. And I think that's why I find it difficult sometimes when I'm planning, because I don't like to commit to things, because I always feel like it's not going to work. I'll put it down, you know, I'm going to do this at 10 o'clock, this at 11 o'clock. But because I work for myself, things always move, things change. So unless it's an absolutely set in stone, concrete appointment, like for example going for the massage today, I knew that was, so that can be written down somewhere in a book, that would be fine. But when it comes to just, you know, generally writing things, planning things. I really struggle to use a fixed journal. So I love envelopes because, and I love junk journals because you can just slap things on a page, you can tear things out, you can just add a piece of paper into your envelope, and you're not going to ruin it because you can then take it out again if you want to. So it doesn't feel like it's set in stone, even though chances are when I write on a piece of paper and I fold it up and I pop it into an envelope, it will stay there. I don't change it, not very often, but I feel like I can. So it almost feels like it's easier to use things like that, and pages where there's lots of writing on already and there are pictures on there already. It's not such an issue for me because I can stick something on top of it, and you know, it's so if a pocket, for example, I can just put something in a pocket and I don't feel like I've committed, you know, quite so much. So I love tucked pockets and things like that. I love junk journals, but I genuinely struggle to write on pages in a journal for fear of ruining the journal and having to commit and then, you know, not wanting to keep that information there. It's bizarre. I'm sure, I don't know what it comes down to, whether it was, you know, some childhood issue, probably from school, but definitely that's how I feel. Anyway, I'm rambling again, aren't I? So I'm gonna put this on here. I really like this, and I'm going to put that on there though, because that's seeping out, isn't it? It's going to make a right mess. I'm going to use the Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. I do like this one, but you know what I didn't do was check that all my nozzles were okay. So let's see. Well, there's air. You know what I have ordered though from Amazon, because I keep seeing Cornflower Crafts, I keep seeing her using her art glitter glue, is it? And it looks like so neat in that little container with a little metal nozzle. So I've ordered one of those with a metal nozzle. I'm going to give that a go. I do love my Cosmic Shimmer, but I do struggle a little bit with these nozzles. You see, it's already clogged up. What do we go through with these glues? It's crazy, isn't it? Right, let's see if this works. I think I'm yet to do a video where the glue is working properly. They make a nice couple, don't they? Fred and Adele Astaire. I've got to love music sheets. They're fantastic, aren't they? Vintage music sheets. We just use them in everything, don't we? Well, I do. And I'll just put that on there. Oh, I love that. Beautiful. That's quite nice and flat as well, so that's super. Right then, let's do another one. Actually, I quite like this with the little image behind. Let's see if we can find something suitable to go with that. I quite like that. I do like these little sort of torn tickets. And we were going to go with some, no, let's have a look at the colours. I quite like this blue. Really, I should just be using my scraps, to be honest. I say this is my ribbon scrapping, but actually there's some full pieces in here. My intention today was just to use scraps, but I do like this colour, so I'm going to take a little bit when I can find the end. Where are we? I'll take a little bit, I think, pop it down here. I don't use these colours very often, so this is quite nice. And now we need a little bit of fabric, don't we, or something else. I don't know whether these are going to be a bit overpowering colour wise. I quite like that blue. So this is from my daughter's dress, I think it was, and that's been tea dyed. I do like that, it's quite bright. I've used this in a few projects, you've probably seen this in loads of stuff that I've done. This isn't backed in the stabiliser though, so this won't be quite so stiff or easy to stick down. Let's make that nice and shabby. Oh, got bits everywhere now. Just trim. That's not bad because we've got the brown at the top there as well. I just think the red's possibly a little bit too much, but I'm going to go with it anyway. The problem is we can overthink, can't we? Okay, let's go back in with this glue. I do love this 3-in-1, but it does dry a bit shiny, so sometimes you can see it through the lace. I noticed that with some of the I've made some belly bands when I first got it, and basically just put loads on the belly band on the card and then just slapped a bit of lace on top, and I did notice that I could see quite a lot of shine underneath it, so although I am going to use the belly bands, I feel now that I need to put something on top of the lace to try and disguise the shininess. This is nice, we've got a bit of texture there. I've got to use this for this as well. Probably should move that a little bit further over. Am I going to be able to do that now? That's good. As I don't want to obscure that picture of the leaf, I just really like that image. I'm really pleased with those stamps. And I'm sure they were fairly inexpensive. Right, now there's nothing on that, so that will lend itself very nicely to a word or something. I mean, obviously I could layer it up even more, but I think I'm going to leave that blank because I really like the idea of being able to add just something on there. Now I say a bit of journaling on there. I would write on there, but I think it's more likely I would print something and then stick it down. So let's see which one that would look nice on. That's quite nice. It's going to have to be quite a big one, isn't it? I don't know whether the red would be a bit too... No, it's too much. I think I'm going to have to use... one of these envelopes, but I don't think I want the texture. I don't know. That does look nice. I don't know, what do you think? Actually, I do prefer it with the texture. It's just that back. What I might do is, when I use it, is maybe seal the flap and cut it at the top so that then I can stick it down on the page, because I'm not loving the, you call it debossed if it's like the reverse side. I'm not loving that, although it sort of looks okay. I don't know, just don't like it very much. So we'll put this on here. I'll leave enough space so that I can cut that. Now you see, I could have left that clear at the top, couldn't I? But I didn't do that. I didn't think quick enough. My brain is still in chilled massage mode, so I didn't. But I could have done that, and then I would have had another pocket. It would have been layered on the front. And that would have been super. Maybe we'll do that on another one. I do actually like this, the texture of the polka dot, so I think I'll probably do another couple of those off camera. I won't do that now. What I didn't do is ink around, so I'm going to do that as well. Pop the top on that. I'll just add a little bit of ink. So I'm going to have to re-ink it, no doubt. I've cut the top off anyway, but... And I won't bother with the back end. That's lifting ever so slightly, isn't it? A bit more difficult to stick down when it's got a raised texture. Okay. Oh, I really like that. That's lovely. So that's 2. And then I think I'll make one more. Maybe if we go for a smaller one. Shall we aim to put something on this one, because this is textured as well. Let's pop a little bit of... Now that's actually got a glued thing, so you know what, that would be sensible, because the problem is that will stick really well to itself. So I'm actually going to stick that down now, and I'm going to now ink round. Okay, so do I want that on the top? I'll leave that on the top, I think. And let's see what we can layer up. So, there's this one. Could go with another image, couldn't we? That's quite nice, but I don't really want to cut that leg off. I like the word star, so I'm actually going to cut that down, and then we'll use this one as the bottom bit. I do love those scissors and the effect that they give. Okay, so that'll go really well on there. Right then, now what shall we use here? We've used some of that already, and I already used some of that. I don't know what's going on there, lots of buzzing. Is that going to be it's too modern? Although I do quite like that stripe, and I do like the fact that it's that style of leaf. So let's see what we've got that goes with that. I don't think I've got anything because of the purple and the pink, but I do have this. That's quite nice. A little bit overkill on the old colour. What else? I think that's probably going to be the best colour, isn't it? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with that one. So this is actually, I think this was a vintage ribbon. I got this, I'm fairly sure, with this one and the grey as well, the grey ribbon. This was a vintage find, I think, on a car boot. I love it. Right, so let's cut off a little bit of this. It is a little bit modern, isn't it, that? I don't know, will I get away with it? I've got a bit of sticky tape stuck to me. And shall we just leave it like that? Or shall we go with, shall we try? It does fray nicely. Am I going to keep this? I'm going to keep it linear. I'm going to keep it straight. I think I will. And I'm also going to pop some ink on this one as well. And chances are we are going to see some of the glue through it, aren't we? I'm going to stick this down first. And then I better find out what all the buzzing was about when I've done this one. It could be the eldest wanting a lift. Right, we want that. And I like, although I do like the word stars behind it, so I might put that there, that there, and then I've got a star, haven't I? I like that. Yeah, we're going to go with that now. I haven't got any fabric under there. This one's actually got some of the purple in, so Is that overkill? It is really, isn't it? I don't have my pinking shears here, so I can't. Could just cut a little bit. I might just cut a little strip and hide it. Sorry, I think my camera just decided it had enough of me chatting. Yeah, I'll just have that peeking out, I think. So again, we'll just pop a tiny bit of ink on there. Right then, let's get this glued down. So we want that. Now, if I just pop a tiny bit glue where I think I want it. Go. And we want to pop probably that down first. It's getting a bit gloopy now, might have to clean the end. I think I want it a little bit further on, like that. Yes, that's nice. Alright, nearly done, and I think then I'll leave it at that. Even though I've got all these wonderful scraps, I'll leave them out, I'll make some more, and then I'll pop a picture for you to see the ones I've finished if I get 5 minutes later today to finish those. Lovely. Now there's enough space for a little word or something down at the bottom. Right, okay, so I'm going to finish it there because obviously somebody's wanting my attention with all the buzzing that's going on in the background. So we've got loads of lovely scraps and bits now to use, and I'll be able to assemble a few more of those and I'll show you what I do. But what we've made on camera so far is this, and this one, oops, sorry, and this one. I see, I'm really pleased with those. I like it. I've got some nice flat envelopes to use in a journal. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you're having some crafty fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.